What's up guys, Jared Spalding here, and today I wanted to make a little bit of a different video for you. So recently I've been not really posting much training footage, I know, which is going to change tomorrow. Do not worry, I will be posting bench session. And I understand that, I haven't really just been talking just in general. I've been just kind of posting things, about my thoughts on how to get a bigger bench. But I don't really make too many personal videos, okay? That's the point I'm getting at here. Today I wanted to change that. I decided, you know what? This is something that I think may or may not, be able to inspire people. I really don't know, but that's not the only point. The biggest point really is just to kind of, I guess, show you guys how much powerlifting really has done for me, how it really has changed my life. So I guess I'll get back into the beginnings of it. I did not start weightlifting until, well, I should say powerlifting because I didn't do any Olympic weightlifting, but I not started that until 14 years old. Okay, almost 2 years ago is when I started. Now, I did not consider myself a powerlifter then. I just considered myself a lifter, I guess. I didn't really know what powerlifting was when I first got into it. I did not really when I started getting into lifting in general. I did not know what powerlifting was, I should say. And I also had a very bad training program, kind of the basic stuff you'd expect from a 14-year-old who doesn't have a coach guiding them. Obviously I was, actually I'll kind of get into this in a little bit, what I was going to say. But, yeah, so I started out, just not a very strong guy at all. Maybe, I started out just very, very basic stuff. I didn't even have a squat rack in my home gym then, so I couldn't even do squats. I started out maybe deadlift. I think I started out deadlifting the same amount as I benched, for example, like doing the same amount of weight on both. And of course my deadlift shot up compared to my bench because that's way less weight. I started out with like 95 pounds on both. And it's some of the worst technique of deadlift in the history of the sport, I'd say. I had one of the worst deadlift forms to ever exist. I'm not even kidding. I've deleted the videos since they were so atrocious, but it was the worst deadlift form ever. If any of you guys remember that or have ever seen it, then feel free to comment about it because it was horrifyingly bad. But I did learn I learned a lot from that. I learned that you really can't just go into anything, including powerlifting, and just do it just to do it. If you're going to be successful in it, if you're going to be injury-free in it, then you have to do the outside research. And that is one of the things it's taught me. It's taught me many great life lessons. But anyway, let's just kind of continue here in chronological order. So I started to get into the powerlifting community when I was around the time I turned 15. Discovered lifters like Larry Wheels, Pete Rubish, the internet phenoms of the time and of our times now. And that really just began to inspire me. I wanted to be, not just very strong, but very explosive and very aggressive in my lifting. I wanted to have that crazy speed with bench press that was close to my max, that kind of thing. And they really did inspire me greatly. Now, as time's gone on, I've learned a lot of things about powerlifting, but powerlifting has also helped me learn a lot of things about life. For example, it has greatly improved my work ethic. Back in the day, not even too long ago, back in the beginning of my sophomore school year, I was one of the worst students of all time when it came to homework. I'm not going to lie. I was missing more homework than I was doing at a certain point, and my grades were showing it. I was just trying to coast through high school the way I had freshman year and the way I did middle school. And it wasn't working because I am in 2 honors classes as well as a year ahead of math. So I could not just, afford to do that. I had to put in the work. But as I've got really serious about powerlifting a couple months ago, it really helped me change my outlook on getting work done. As I've come to really enjoy going home each day to work out, afterwards, it puts me in the right mindset of getting work done and trying to advance myself, not just in the gym when I'm powerlifting, but afterwards in my education career, I guess. I don't really want to call it. I don't want to say high school career. It sounds kind of weird because it's not the same thing. It helps you to later on build your career. But, throughout my high school years, it helps me to realize how important it is, I should say, to get the work done I need to every day. That's just how it is. It helps me to realize that just because you work hard for a week, it doesn't mean it's done. You keep on working hard every week. Powerlifting is such a marathon sport that's what it taught me. is that if you really want a very great thing in your life, you have to work on it for years. And the work is going to be tough every single day. But if you're not cut out for it, then guess what? No one's going to be there to help you out. Not even just in powerlifting, but just in life. If you are failing your classes, it gets to a certain point where there's nothing anyone can do for you if you're not doing your work. That's on you. And that's really one of the big things that powerlifting has helped me with, is that, today and every day when I get home from school, I get my workout session in, and then I grind out homework for a couple hours or however long I need to do it for. And I don't let it build up. And instead, if I don't have any homework due the next day, I do homework that's due in a couple of days. That's just what the mentality that powerlifting has brought on for me. Another way that it has really just changed my life is it's finally given me a sport that I'm good at. Team sports have never been my thing. Okay, now, I have a lot better coordination than I did a couple years ago, but I'm still not incredible at football, basketball, any sport like that, really. I very much struggle with them. And in powerlifting, I've gained a lot of confidence because before I really just had nothing that I was looking forward to each day, nothing beyond school that I did in a day. And now with powerlifting, as something that I want to see myself breaking records in soon, it's given me something to, I guess, look forward to in the future, as well as something that has really just helped increase my confidence in myself because especially when I was younger, I was bullied and stuff like that. I'm not going to get too much into it, but it's what it was. But as I have gotten farther and farther in my powerlifting journey, the whole thing has changed for me. I am a lot more confident in myself now. I am, I'm trying to think of a way to just explain it, but that's just really it. It's helped me increase my confidence, and it's given me a sport that I can actually enjoy every day, something that I can actually do better than most people can do in my high school. Something that doesn't humiliate me and it really, I think it has helped me to improve in other sports as well, because especially like throwing, for example, like I'm a lot stronger, so I can, be a lot more explosive, and powerlifting does work the fast twitch muscle fibers to an extent. And just in general, I guess it's helped, my overall coordination, because you do need to be in some way coordinated to lift. You can't just have the worst form ever. You have to have very, balance, I guess I should say, in lifting, because otherwise you're going to get hurt. But just in general, powerlifting, is the only sport I've really ever done. It's the only sport I'm good at, and maybe, those two things are correlated, but I guess I just didn't start playing anything else early enough to be good at it. And that's the great thing about powerlifting, is that you can start at an older age, which I don't think 14 is old at all to be starting. But what I mean is that you can be starting a little bit older, and then you can build your thing still for 20 years before you'll peak. Whereas in football, most football players, they peak in their early to mid-20s. So you have to be playing ball since you're 10 to have enough experience to make it to something like the NFL. Where powerlifting, you can start at 20, 25, and you're not even close to your peak yet. Not just in terms of gaining strength, but in terms of how much strength you could gain even if you started at 10. You still wouldn't be at your peak by the time you're in your 20s. And that's just the great thing about powerlifting for me, is that it is something that, I can get into. It was the first sport I ever started doing. It's the only sport I really do now. And it's just given me something to do, I guess. I don't know how else to really describe it, but overall, it has been a life-changing experience getting into powerlifting. And trust me, for the better. It has helped me in so many ways that I can't even begin to describe. So with that being said, I do hope you enjoyed the video. I really hope that if you're a young guy like myself who wants to get into powerlifting, that you make today the day that it starts. You stop looking to the future, start lifting, you just get into it. I know too many people, even people who had decent potential in it that I've seen, who just stopped lifting for whatever reason. And I can understand if you have something come up, in life. Life gets in the way sometimes. But I'm talking about people that just stopped just because they didn't feel like it anymore. And I know too many people also who have, started doing different, drugs or whatever, and that's, caused them to stop. And that's another thing, is that powerlifting's really kept me on the straight and narrow, I believe, because it's something that you can't be using really any kind of illicit drugs, because they would not put you in the right state to be able to lift. And then also, it gives me something to do with my time, because when you're not just lifting in the gym, once you get out of the gym, I just said that wrong. You're not just training in the gym. Once you get out of the gym, you got to train your mind in knowing everything about powerlifting. You got to do so much more besides just lifting, that it really is a very time consuming thing between that and schoolwork. So there's just no time to do other things. But yeah, with that being said, I do hope you enjoyed the video. And like I said, if that's English. If you have been holding out on powerlifting though, please make today the day, because trust me, the longer you wait, even though powerlifting is a marathon sport, the less strength you'll have 10 years down the line. Peace.